Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and start the meeting. First item on the meeting is the pledge of allegiance. If we'd all rise, please. The pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, folks. Next item on the agenda tonight is the roll call. We have 4 councilmen present, 1 is not present. Next item on the agenda tonight is consider approving the minutes held from October 11th. I make a motion, we approve those minutes. Motion made by Dana, second by Bob Nutting. All in favor? Thank you. There is a number of people here tonight, so we're gonna try to be a little bit convenient for you. So we're gonna go right down to discussing the ATV ordinance. For a lot of people are in here, so we'll hold you up, and if you want to stay for the whole meeting, we're not saying don't, but a lot of people are here for that, so we'd like to skip that and go right to the ATV ordinance, and then go off with Kelly, please.
So I think this is gonna be a longer discussion. This is just the opening of what does the council want Oakland's direction to go with use of ATVs in the area. We've given permission for one route to get gas, but the police officers are seeing and other people are seeing going down Oak Street, going down Church Street. You know, I think we have a great club in town that would like to see the roads open more, but we need some sort of enforceable ordinance for those that aren't following.
Good.
Chief Tracy can speak on.
I actually asked Kelly to bring this up, and the reason I did that is I've had a few people, including myself, that have seen some of the side-by-side ATVs going down the road now, not just on down the side of the road. They're being respectful. You know, they were doing, I didn't really necessarily have an issue with what they were doing, but they were driving down the road in different places where it hadn't been. And we need some clarification. I think we need to maybe do a study of where we want it, because you know, where we want ATV access to be allowed and where we don't. It has some very busy roads. It's a safety concern. But I thought it would be good maybe if we had a conversation with the council, maybe with the ATV crowd, and discuss what it is that Oakland would like to see for an ordinance. And whatever it needs to be something in the form of an ordinance, because otherwise it's nothing that is enforceable or that's understandable, frankly, for the police department who would be enforcing it, or the ATVers who are out there trying to follow the rules. So.
Bob Nutting?
So is the state law leave the decision on where they can ride up to the local communities?
That is my understanding, yes. For example, I mean, everybody knows Greenberg, they're riding up and down the road with regular traffic in some areas. There are other roads. I went camping there. And I'm sure you've seen the sign. When you turn onto the road that goes to the campground, that's where ATV is not allowed to go on that road in particular. That's just as an example. And I'm sure there are reasons for that, based on traffic and roadway, whether it's a state road or a town road or whatever the circumstances are. But I just think that it's important to review that, decide what's safe, what's in everybody's best interest, and what works. I
think with the new rail bed, you know, opening up, coming to town, possibly, you know, within the area. I know the state, I spoke with one of the trailer today, Kevin, and he said that the state really wants to put a park and ride somewhere in Oakland. And if you do that, you're gonna have so much business for the local businesses. You know, they're gonna be gassing up, they're gonna be getting food, so this could get big. Not for a while, obviously, because we're not ready for a park, but the state is looking at this area. But
You know,
I think there's a lot of money to be made here from some of our local businesses for sandwiches, gas, and things like that. And some of the towns, I think Norwich Walk is open the whole town up, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, maybe someone from the police department and maybe somebody from the club could give us some statistics on what other towns are doing and maybe what their ordinances are. We'll put this back on the agenda.
Can I speak on the top? Yeah, Mr. Ball, hang on, Kevin, hang on one second, Angela, raise your hand first.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that we are avid four-wheelers and, you know, we respect, you know, the property around, but huge money to four-wheelers. We go up to Bingham and they're bringing in tens of thousands of dollars easily, probably every weekend. So I mean, it would be huge for revenue in Oakland to,
That's what we're thinking too.
even if you just kept it in town where the restaurants were and stuff like that, and access roads don't go, you know, all crazy and, you know, let them ride anywhere.
Kevin,
If you think about it, my name's Kevin Ball, by the way, lifelong resident of Oakland. Before I really get to talk what I really want to talk about, it'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate the council on being so fiscally responsible. I love bragging to my buddies in surrounding towns where our mill rate was, and we didn't sacrifice our school system, police department, fire department. So thank you for it before I go on. Some 14, 15 months ago, we talked to the council about getting road access up. The old Waterloo Road, you go to the ice cream place and Thirsty Mule. What I have observed this summer, taking my grandkids to the ice cream place, having always several ATVs there over the Thirsty Mule, with people having lunch, watching the game. That seems to be working good. But the big picture of this whole thing that I want to talk about. Last year, 70,000, that's a big number now, 70,000 ATVs registered in the state of Maine. The state's projecting over 80,000 this year. And I need to inform you that some of these machines are worth over $30,000. So my point is, there's a lot of discretionary money out there. So the whole town of Norfolk, I mean, is all over the ATVs. Town of Fairfield's got 12 miles of road access over the ATVs. Anybody that wants to go to Newport at a drop off on the outside of town can see all the ATVs there. Now something so crazy. My brother called me once, go to ATV ride to Dexter, the Red Hot Dog Fest. Okay, we get there and it must have been 300 ATVs, even near town. In Dover Foxcroft, that there will be Bike Fest, and it was the same event that happened there. So with the beginning of the rail bed coming into Oakland, I think we're really missing a huge opportunity of the revenue that town of Oakland can make. So it's a big deal, and it's not going away.
And the roads, the trails, when the trails close, the roads are closed.
Exactly.
So the trails are closed, next weekend through mud season, May. So there wouldn't be any ATVs on the road in the winter.
one second, I'm going in order. Sir,
My name's Jeff Renford, lived, 7 years now, we got a nice side by side, we love it here, Your Thursday nights down at the gazebo could be a big draw here. You know what I mean? You get a couple more food trucks in there, a huge draw. People love music and something to eat, someplace to go,
Kevin,
I'm Kevin, General Master for the Club here at Oakland. I spoke with you earlier today and said they'd be closed in a couple of days. Since then, I've talked with Brian Bronson, and he's now opened the rail bed to Madison. And he's gonna keep it open to the first plow of the snowstorm. I would like, if you guys don't have a problem with that, we'll also keep our trails open so people can access the trails and the rail bed. So that one. And then the roads and trails closes.
so I think we're all on the right page. So the council would like to ask Kelly if you would form maybe a small committee, however big you decide, to discuss that and to, like Kevin Ball there, I know thanks for volunteering, Kevin. And I will. I love volunteers. And then Kevin, of course, your trail master,
Yeah.
you can get some people and any volunteers from.
I think somebody from the police department to work with them would be good.
Deputy Chief Star,
Any ladies in the house?
there you go, good. There you go.
One more thing, if I could. I hear what the chief is saying, I think he's absolutely right. We need some sort of control. If I think about driving my automobile, There's supposed to speed limits. I can't do 50 miles an hour down Water Street. And if I do 50 miles an hour, I should be subject for arrest. And we're going to have to get to that. Now, Doug Dickerson, the trail master of Fairfield was here. He talked to us about how smooth everything is going in Fairfield, but we did have one individual who was abusing things. So enough of people in the club observed it, got hold of the game on, gave them enough information, and that individual was arrested. And as a club, we promote that. People doing the wrong thing, we employ police departments and game wardens to take care of it, but they need, I get it, chief, they need an ordinance or something to go by so you can enforce it.
And that's what the committee will do.
Thank you.
Kevin?
I've also talked with Brian Bronson today about coming to the meeting here. And I've also talked to the local game warden. Both of them are willing to come in and sit through a meeting and discuss any laws, regulations that you have concerns on.
So maybe that could be part of the committee too. So I'll make a motion that Kelly forms a committee for the research committee or ordinance committee for the ATV trails. Second by Dana, all in favor? Thank you, folks. And now you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. We'd enjoy it.
I like you, but I gotta go.
I'll be in contact.
I'm volunteering you again when you leave, Kelly. All right, next thing on the is the cost of email account for the council members. We went over that last time, Kelly.
Yep, so we use Outlook, Microsoft Outlook for our email client. I did check with MTG and it's $6 per month per council. So $30 a month to just get an email address. Then you could download the app on your phone or your tablet, or go to a website and log in, and you could have an oaklandmaine.us email address. So pretty cheap for $30. And it would keep your personal and work council duties separate.
Comments?
It's one more thing you'll have to check. But it's not having another device, which I know was an issue for some.
Angela?
I just have all kinds of stuff to say. I would hope that if I'm voting for you to be in office, that you're gonna be willing to go that extra mile to carry a tablet or check a separate email for us, because we're counting on you to represent us, and I hope that if that's a burden for you, then you probably shouldn't be running anymore. So just, I feel very adamant about if we're choosing you to represent us, that you would take that extra step to, to make it so we don't have to worry about any of this ever happening again.
Questions, comments? Bob Dunn?
I'm not, what was the part about this ever happening again? What's happened?
So everything's separate, so that way it'll always go to the email that was to the town. It wouldn't be any separate side deals, going through your personal email. Everything town related will be on one site. And that way you don't have to worry about, ever having to seize your email or.
Yeah, probably because there weren't responses on certain questions. On emails that you were getting.
Well, I for one don't mind at all having a separate email. I think I said at the last meeting, and we'll say again, that I'm not interested in having a tablet that I carry with me 24 hours a day in case somebody wants to contact me. I mean,
If you did the
our
tablets,
phones.
Hang on, let him speak, please.
Our phones are published, I believe. I know mine certainly is, and people can call me. My personal email account is pretty widely disseminated, and I don't mind if people use that. If the idea of how much, $6 and something.
$6 a piece.
Times 5 is 30, another $400 a year. We think is a worthwhile expense. I'm not opposed to that. I'm really not sure how important it is, but if people think that's a good idea, I'm not opposed.
Kevin, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just thinking, if you guys are gonna have these emails, I think they ought to be during business hours, during the week, Monday through Friday. So you're not bothered through the weekends or at night on personal time. The other question I have is, instead of tablets, there's gotta be a computer here in the office, something you guys can access. Instead of carrying the expensive tablet times 5.
Well, we got phones and stuff, and that's not talking a tablet. I mean, I could, what she's saying is that she could set up a email address and I could go to my home computer, or I could go to my cell phone, or I could go to my office and grab one there. So that's what she's saying. It would cost $6 per person per account to do this per month. Sir,
Every phone is capable of having multiple emails attached.
Yeah.
If you have a work email that's attached to it, it costs $6 to put it on your phone. You want to have that, right? If I keep you more in contact, makes your life easier and you can better serve the public, they can have that.
I'd make a motion, we try that, see how it works.
No comment on the floor?
sir,
Pat, put a hand. Doesn't matter how long I've lived here. I think we're talking, and I'm not an IT person, but I think the way I understand it is we're talking thick client and thin client. A thick client is when you have to have the device and the program downloaded. And a thin client is when you access from any device, you log in and then you retrieve your stuff on another server. So there may not be the need, I mean, if you could, get a clarification. If it's a thin client relationship, you log in, you access your email on the Oakland server, it's archived. If somebody says you didn't get back with me, they can show that you looked at it or something, but you're not tied to one device. You don't have a dedicated, hard device that you have to carry around. You can have access, you have access to the internet. So, getting a clarification, if you're a thin client, you don't really need it, we don't really need to get you another device. We just need to get you the email.
thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
So motion is made by Dana. Sean?
Just one comment, I'll make it quick. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't know about you, but as a taxpayer, your job is to be able for us to get a hold of you. If you're at home or whatever, yeah, you don't have to really look at it, but kind of makes no sense to have multiple devices to do your job.
That's exactly what we're saying. We're on the same page. Exactly what we're saying. And before we talked about the tablets. And now we're saying that, she'll hook us up with that. Motion's made that we will do this, seconded by Bob, all in favor? Good. Next item up is reevaluation on the bid discussion for reval.
And that is the, so as you know, we did receive the one bid. There was some discussion last time about going back out, not going back out. We've had more internal discussions about it, and I don't believe at this point that we were gonna go back out to bid. I can tell you that the other companies that are large enough to do a town the size of Oakland are already booked out through 2026. One of the other large companies that does it doesn't work in our system, doesn't work with Trio, so they wouldn't bid on it. And then the other larger company that bids for things around here is only bidding currently on towns. They are also the agent for it. So I personally don't think it's going to make a bit of difference if we go back out. I think we're going to get one bid, and if we go back out and somehow upset this company, then, yep, go ahead.
So I think originally we sent it out to 3 companies.
Nope, I sent it out to many more, because there's lots of small ones, and we also put it on the MMA, they have like a RFP database where anyone can look on it from anywhere in the country.
But I think a lot of our comments was, would it be fair to go out to all the ones who replied,
I had one reply.
just the one that we got?
I had one inquiry about whether we would switch programs or not. And I said it was certainly something we would be open to, but they did not bid on
Sounds like we ought to go with the bid we got.
Bob, another question?
No, I think Nicole makes a good point. I think it's important that we get it done. Important that we get it done as soon as we can, and it turns out that's 3 years-ish. She's comfortable with the company that's bid, and with the price. I talked to her a little bit, because at the last meeting, we talked about going back out reaching out to the other two, but can't really do that. And the more I thought about it, the less attractive that was, because you already had a bid. You could throw it away and go back out to all 3 bids. But if you do that, you risk the chance of not getting it done in a timely manner. And the most important thing to us, I think, is getting the revaluation done in a timely manner. So,
Nicole, would you just give everybody a quick explanation that this is not something we want to do, this is something we have to do?
This is something you have to do. Our ratio has dropped now. We're below 70%, and it is something we have to do at this point. We can look again next year at adjusting values like we did last year, so that we're not so far off, but my comfort level with just adjusting values across the board is dropping. We're seeing that commercial and non-commercial now have a huge disparity of their market and what's happening in the market for them. So it's, again, something being the dork I am, it's something that I'm always looking at, right? I'm always analyzing the numbers and that kind of stuff, but my comfort level with adjusting things is that if we have something wrong already and we're just adjusting it up by 1%, we're making it worse. And so, we do have to do it. It's well past time that we do it too. It's been since 1996 since we've had a full revaluation. We don't have a good inventory any longer, because as everyone knows, things happen without permits, or things get demolished or upgraded and we don't know about it, and it's time to get out there and look at it and really make sure we have it good.
And our plan is to put away $100,000 a year for 3 years, and then Nicole will have enough money to do this reval. And it won't be till 26 they can do it anyway, so it's gonna work out right on the time.
Right, we'll have to do some kind of the payment plan. It'll be set out in their contract. I don't know what it is, but it won't be all due at once, so.
Angela?
We had anticipated it was gonna cost like 500,000 anyway, right? So we're below that level.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Motion.
I'd make a motion, we authorize Kelly and Nicole to contract for this.
Motion's been made, seconded by Dawn, all in favor? Next up is sign a sewer commitment for the period of July through September. Thank you.
Thank you.
move we do that.
Thank you. While we're signing that, next item up is a risk reduction enhancement grant.
Yes, so I worked with AJ, MMA's Risk Reduction Enhancement Grant Program came out. Because we're part of the Maine Municipal Property and Casualty Pool, we were able to apply for this. And the grant is covered 100%. They awarded us $2,918.29 to purchase security cameras and motion censored lights for our buildings and ground garage and our public works garage. Currently, we don't have any there, and it's no cost to us. We have until 2024, May of 2024 to use it. We'll just, we buy the stuff, we submit a reimbursement, they send us the money back. I'm just asking the council tonight to accept this money.
I'd make a motion, we accept this money for the cameras.
Question from Bob Nutting, or Don, sorry.
The security cameras, the recording from that goes, do we have a central place where the recordings are stored?
There will be, I'm not sure what type of camera.
Do we have any security cameras down now?
We do at the police department, but it is not recorded, it's viewing only.
It's not.
It's not recorded.
It's not.
Where could I, can you watch it
Yes,
from the
watch
place?
it live and the comm center in Waterville can watch it live as well. So if we have somebody at night in the middle of the night, if there's somebody in the booking room with an officer, it can be observed by Waterville.
But Mr. Wallman?
Questions along the same line. How do we come up with that amount? Who came up with that amount?
AJ did, he did some research, found the motion lens he wanted, the security cameras he wanted, and I have all that. You know,
No, my question was basically, are we sure that's gonna be enough to do the type of things where it does come to a central place? Or is it gonna be sort of limited?
I mean, maybe he's doing an Arlo or a Ring where it's motion censored and they get an alert on their phone and they can see, oh, it's a raccoon, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Which I wouldn't
just
like, but
making sure we have enough money in there to do what we
Yeah.
want.
I mean, he came up with the type of lights and cameras that he wanted, so I didn't really
Where do you come up with the cost of?
research. He did his research, then we submitted it all to MMA.
Yeah, I made a motion, we kept that money.
Motion's been made, accept the money, Bob Nutting, said, second it, all in favor? Thank you. Signing municipal election warrant, next.
There are 6 of these that you need to sign, and they'll be posted with the sample ballots.
Do all yours in red ink then.
Don't get me thrown
No problem, Jim. Try to help you, buddy. We're hard going.
I don't think so.
Next item up on the agenda is the calendar for the holiday seasons.
Yeah, so we usually meet on the second and fourth Tuesday of the month with, I don't know if you wanna meet the day before Thanksgiving, or if we wanna move and have one meeting on the 15th, because elections is on the 7th. And if we move it to the 15th, then be right in the middle of the month, and then December, I think we can go back to the 6th and the 20th for the 2 meetings. One of those meetings, the audit's gonna be reviewed, so. That's what I'm suggesting.
Comments, thoughts, questions?
So rather than the 22nd, Wednesday, before Thanksgiving, we'd meet the 15th, is that what you were saying?
Right, so we would just meet on the 15th of November, one meeting. Jan's gonna be so busy after, the day after elections. Like it,
Mr. Nutting, does that work for you, sir?
That's fine, just one meeting in November. I moved on to December now.
Oh, well. So the meeting on let's do the meeting on the 15th.
okay,
And December's meeting is the 13th.
6th and the 20th. No, we'll stay with 2 meetings in December if we need them.
It should be 13th and 27th, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
So in December is the 13th and would also normally be the 27th.
7.
Why don't we cancel the 27th and only do that if something comes up?
Do the 13th and
A lot of
then,
people go on vacation that week,
yeah. Okay,
so only 1 and 1.
so let's.
So
vote.
11/15 and 12/13.
Yes. I will call the auditor tomorrow and get on.
Second the motion.
Motion has been made.
I second it.
All in favor? Good. That will be the conclusion of the meeting. The next thing we're going to do is we're gonna go into an executive session, ladies and gentlemen, under MRF #1, section 4056A, and to discuss personal matters. It will not be any vote after, it's just discussing employee personal matters. So for the rest of you folks, thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you. Remember on the 15th next month, please. Thank you.